because you're worth it.
Daphne Whiten and her daughter Louise are enjoying the delights of a late Indian summer in southern Ontario. But it's a far cry from the nightmare that they have endured since a cold winter night back in 1994.
I was in bed, awake, actually, writing a letter, and I heard what I thought was rushing water. Then I heard an explosion.
A fire in their home. They rushed out into the sub-zero temperatures, called the fire department, and stood and watched as their lives went up in smoke.
And we stood there and watched the house burn and watched it burn, and before the fire trucks got there, we knew that it was pretty much gone.
What was going through your mind when you were watching your house burn down?
I remember also saying to my dad, you do have insurance, right, Dad? And he said, thank God, yes, we do. And so you're looking for a light in the darkness, even, you know, as you're going through something like that.
All the Whiten salvaged were a few charred pieces of paper. This is really all that remains of the memories of a lifetime, I guess, eh?
It's all gone, so you have no memories, you know, nothing physical that you can put your hands on, say this belonged to, like, would be Louise's grandma and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
At first, their company, Pilot Insurance, seemed to be helpful. It gave them money to rent a small cottage, and it seemed to be processing their claim. In the time that you had this insurance policy with Pilot, did you ever miss a payment?
No.
Were you ever late with your payments?
I don't think so. I think it was automatically paid through the bank.
So you had no reason to believe that there was any sort of tension between you and the insurance company at all?
No.
No.
While the Whitens waited for word about their nearly $300,000 claim, the insurance company had hired an arson investigator. His first report described the fire as accidental and said there was no suspicions of incendiary activities. In other words, arson. Pilot's adjuster also said the fire is accidental and recommended that the company pay up. But when Pilot's lawyer got involved, he wrote detailed letters directing the arson investigator, suggested in one that his investigation be revisited and rebuilt, stated he should ignore facts, made it clear he expected different results. This time, the investigator submitted another report, reclassifying this fire loss as being suspicious. Pilot refused to pay the Whitens. They were trying to deny you the claim because of the suspicion of arson. And yet none of you were ever charged. No. That's a criminal offense.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And yet Pilot was going to take you through the courts because they thought they had a chance of saying these are really arsonists, trying to cheat us.
I remember when we were in court one day, Pilot's lawyer was there, and one of his, obviously a friend, another lawyer, had come in and said, "Oh, hi, Don, another arson case?" And he said, "Yes." And I was so angry, I wanted to hit him at that point. I was so angry, I thought, this isn't an arson case. It isn't, you know, we aren't, as you said, we were not accused of arson. It was just suspicion, and that's why they didn't pay.
The Whitens sued, and the case dragged on for 8 years. Finally, just last year, the case made it all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada.
Daphne Whiten versus Pilot Insurance Company.
After hearing the submissions,
Pilot was required to assess the merits of the claim in a balanced and reasonable manner.
the Supreme Court justices went behind closed doors, and 15 long months later, they found in favor of the Whitens, upholding punitive damages of $1 million. Justice complete? Well, not quite. Today, can you get insurance for this house?
No, we can't. Most insurance companies will deny us. Our name is sort of red flagged. And if they do offer it, it's an extortionate rate.
Wait a minute. Why are you red flagged? The Supreme Court said you were right. And they forced the insurance company to pay a penalty for what they did. And they still won't insure you. That's incredible.
Exactly.
We asked Pilot Insurance to talk with us about the Whiten case, but it declined. Instead, it sent us a letter stating The case was resolved in February 2002 with the Supreme Court of Canada judgment, which Pilot has accepted. Not that Pilot had much of a choice. By law, Supreme Court rulings must be accepted. For years and years in this country, the number of bad faith claims against insurance companies were relatively few, about 1 or 2 a year. But that all started to change in 1998, and now there are as many as 12 to 13 of these cases going through the court in any given year. And as the number of cases increased, so did the amount of the punitive awards handed out by the courts against the insurance companies. Remember, the Whitens were awarded $1 million. And in a more recent case, an insurance company was penalized $2 million. It seems that the courts are trying to send a bit of a message.
But I know that when I go into courtroom, I go in there to win for my client.
Meet Larry Pierce, a Vancouver lawyer who specializes in bad faith claims.
When you purchase an insurance policy, you're buying the right to bring a lawsuit. That's basically what you got.
That comes as news to most people who have insurance policies.
I'm sure it does. But the number of people that I see with perfectly good claims, disability claims, that aren't paid is shocking. Absolutely shocking. But what they do is they stall and investigate and stall. People go bankrupt, they lose their homes, they starve. You know, while these insurance companies are ignoring medical evidence, they're ignoring witness accounts, they're ignoring the facts, basically. Ignoring the facts should be bad faith, in my view.
Pierce says that when insurance companies stall legitimate claims just to improve their bottom line, then it's up to the courts to send a message.
You can't take a $5 billion company and hand them a $10,000 fine. They ain't gonna pay any attention. You've got to hand a $5 billion company a big fine. Then they'll notice.
We wanted to ask someone in the industry about all of this, but no companies that we asked wanted to talk with us.
The insurance industry has always been run pretty much like an old boys club.
Once again, Lori Tomlinson.
The best secrets are kept inside, behind locked doors. Because the more knowledge that the consumer base has about how they operate, why they do the things the way they do, the more problems they're going to have.
So we went to the Insurance Bureau of Canada. It speaks on behalf of the industry. But even the Bureau refused all of our requests for an interview. So we dropped by anyway.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Tom Clark from W5. I'm here. The man to talk with was John Carapita, and initially we were told he was in his office.
Thank you.
He'll answer. He's answering right now.
Oh, okay. In fact, we were told no fewer than 3 times that John Carapita was in the office. But suddenly, that changed.
He's not in at the moment, but...
So we said we would wait. And within minutes, once again, everything changed. Suddenly, John Carapita was in the office.
Tom Clark, W5. How are you?
Very sure we're not.
Our first question. Did the insurance industry think that bad faith was a problem?
When claims are dealt with in this industry, they're handled to the overwhelming satisfaction of policyholders.
Now, when you say that the majority of your claims are handled well and efficiently, should it not be all the claims are handled well and efficiently?
Well, it's something that every company strives to do. I think, Tom, it's important to keep in perspective that when these claims are dealt with, they are handled to the overwhelming satisfaction of consumers. And I think...
You keep on saying that, but what, do I take it then that you got no message out of the court decisions at all?
Well, I think you know about the statement that was made by Pilot Insurance.
We spoke with the witness, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but they cannot get house insurance anymore. Why would that be?
I can tell you, Tom, that in dealing with these claims, insurers deal with them and to the overwhelming satisfaction of policyholders. Tom, I think we've answered your questions. I don't know what further we can explore.
Questions asked and answers not given.
They also expect
A scenario that Daphne and Louise Whiten are all too familiar with. One that's left them bitter and angry with the insurance industry.
But, we are a real family, and we were really hurt by this, and we went through an awful lot, and my dad is now gone, and it's not fair. And it's not, and just remember that these are people's lives you're gambling with, and it's not right.
And W5 returns right after this.